Good morning, everyone. Trevor Thompson, TNT pressure cleaning, dynamite service with explosive results. We are back out at a home that we are preparing for the market. And I've got all the equipment out of the trailer and I'm ready to shoot. So I wanted to show you guys the setup and the strategy. So because there's no time sensitivity with this process, we're making sure that it's done right and we're taking our time, we're being meticulous and thorough. And a lot of the jobs, most of the jobs, 90% of the jobs that you'll want to complete that day so that you can get paid. And this particular job we have already been paid for, and we are taking our time, take as many days as we want and do it right. So we are going to be sanding, sealing this driveway, and you can see how hammered that is. We're going to be tightening up all kinds of things, like this path is going to look gorgeous. But the reason I made this video is because the other day we did a bunch of benches and things around the property to make things look beautiful. We just finished removing all of the exercise equipment off of the travertine pool deck, and we're ready to shoot. We did not want to get that deck prepped without getting the treadmill, the exercise bike, etc. off of that pool deck. So now that everything has been removed, we're ready to begin our process. Yesterday, actually it was the day before yesterday. Yesterday I was down south of this town doing another job. The day before, we shot the outside of the pool cage because we had some time and the winds were relatively light, 8 to 10 miles an hour. So we got the outside of the pool cage completely done, which is really nice because it kind of treats some of the inside as well, if you do it correctly. But the inside is just hammered. There's lichen, moss, mold, mildew, algae, fungus, bacteria. There's tannin stains. I mean, it is loaded with the full gamut of organic matter. So this pool cage needs a relatively hot mix. We're gonna put about a 3.5% mix on there, and I'll show you how I got set up. So I used my handy dandy cart to roll out my high pressure hose and my supply hose. My supply hose is run to my machine from the source. We have 100 feet of double braid that goes all the way down here. That 100 feet then will help me stretch out so that I can pre-treat that driveway. But and then we go to another 100 feet of single braid, and that's attached right here. So this is going to be your double braided hose, your very heavy commercial grade hose. This is your regular hose. These are great, nice and lightweight, but they don't certainly last as long. This is the travertine pool deck, and as you can see, we got rid of all the roots. We cut all the roots that were growing out of here. They were growing so bad that they literally grew through the screen. So you can see here that the screen is completely ripped and torn. So we got all those roots out of there, and this deck is ready. Obviously, there's a lot of settlement and gaps, things to address. And then we have quite a bit of growth through here. So, so what we've done today to make things simple for you, let's say you don't have an open trailer with fixed equipment. Let's say you don't have a flatbed or a soft wash system in the back of your pickup truck. And let's say you're doing a mobile clean like I am. You're going to want a large container to store your SH, preferably something that is made for caustic chemicals. So I highly recommend upgrading to something like that instead of trying to shoot out of a 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to go ahead and turn you around, let you see the rest of this deck. We're going to get all the weeds and growth out of here. You can really see what those beams look like up here. You've got your lichen, your buildup of mold and mildew, that type of thing. I'll turn you around really quickly so that you can see what's over here. You can just see the growth that's on these beams. And that's pretty predominant throughout each section. All of your flashing and all of, your soffits underneath, all your walls, windows, that type of thing. You can take a cobweb brush and dust these off. You can also use water, and you don't want to get any water in this housing. So you're going to spray this way. You're going to let the blades begin to spin, and you're going to tap, 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 tap as the blades spin. Once those blades start going too fast, get your water down, come around here and start tapping this way. And you can see how clean I've got those just the other day, and that was just with a high pressure ball valve. All of this is going to get cleaned in through here. And then we're going to begin the restoration process. This is the chemical tank that I use. This is a 55-gallon SH tank. You would never put 55 gallons in there because that would be 550 pounds. So 30 gallons is about the max, and that's about 300 pounds. Sodium hypochlorite, chlorine, weighs 10 pounds per gallon. Water weighs 8 pounds per gallon. So in there right now we have 20 gallons. And we have a bit of a house wash mix, which is about a 50-50 mix in there. And then we've added another 7.5 gallons. We're going to put about 5 gallons of water on top of that. The surfactant is already mixed in there. That's what gives it sort of that pinkish color. So once I put 5 gallons of fresh water in there, we will have about a 3.5% mix. It's pretty basic and self-explanatory, except one thing that you absolutely must do while you're inside of here. Once you pre-treat, so I'm gonna get everything wet. I'm gonna get my screens wet. I'm gonna get my beams wet. I'm gonna get everything wet. You can see the Spanish moss that's growing off of the beams. I'm gonna gently get those off of the screens. You can see what the screens look like up top. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get all of that wet. Once this entire cage is wet, we're gonna work section by section to lay on solution. Get that wet again. Lay on solution. Come over, rinse off solution. Go over here, get that wet again. Rinse off solution, lay solution, begin the top of the cage. Now you can start top to bottom, especially with rinsing. You can start however you like by systematically going about it, but you want to maximize the efficiency of your SH. Your SH will drip off the tops onto the deck, of course that will do nothing but help. Now, travertine is a very specialty stone, so you want to make sure that you're treating this with like Cleanso, a peroxide-based chem, when you're restoring this. If it needs to be stripped, use a good stripper. There are several out there. Deco makes one that's decent. There's a bunch of strippers out there that are okay. There's a lot of garbage out there too, so you're gonna have to figure out what is best for you. And then you're gonna want a 2-part urethane sealer on here that's specifically for travertine. You can see some of the high areas here where you've got dirt and debris. That's gonna clean up really nice, so you're not gonna see those dark stones there. You can see where the sealer used to be here and where it's fading here. So, but nonetheless, we take 100 feet of polybraid hose. Now, this hat is just to protect from leaves and things like that blowing in there. The cap goes on so that when you're transporting this, you don't get any splash out. On the bottom of this, I have taken your standard brass barb that used to have a screen on there that you get in the XJet package, and I use that to weight down and work as a siphon tool. If you were to put just the hose down, the hose may suck up against the side and you may lose suction. So you're gonna wanna weight that down with something and make sure that it's pulling. And with that plunger on there, it allows it to pull really well consistently. I have fixed the hose with a gorilla tie that allows the hose no slippage. So when you're pulling on this hose, you're not slipping and pulling. This is 100 feet of the poly-braided siphon hose, and that runs all the way down there, all the way over to there, over to there. So I will be able to take care of more than this pool enclosure. I decided to put this underneath here because I don't want a ton of stuff coming down onto it because it's unnecessary. We will move this to clean underneath there. And then out here we just have, we're gonna turn this on. This is our high pressure ball valve, our DN10, and we'll just crank this on and we'll go over and then start our machine. Make sure you start your machine on idle with the choke on. Once it cranks over, then go ahead and take your choke off and go ahead and idle up. It's kind of like starting a car. You wouldn't start a car with the gas pedal pressed straight to the floor. So stop starting those machines with that rev all the way up. It's hard on the engine. I use a reducer instead of a gun. This is the reducer. So you can see what parts those are, male fitting. And then that reducer will go onto a lance. This is a 2-foot stainless steel lance. And at the end of the 2-foot stainless steel lance, we have the XjetM5 twist. And this allows me to siphon chemical, clean, and rinse. I hope this helps you. And one thing that's gonna absolutely help you, it's a 100% must do, even if you have the doors open and you have a breeze, is that you properly protect yourself. A hat is a great idea to keep that SH off of your face. You're going to need a rag of some sort so that you can wipe your face and your glasses. You're gonna wanna put some type of barrier on your lips in case you get drips of SH on your lips. It will burn, and I have had burns on my lips. You want some type of a protective polyester shirt, and you want some decent boots. I'll be using some acids today, so these are my old hucks. I don't wear my new hucks when I'm spraying acids. Then the most important thing is 20 years down the road, you don't want to end up with a pulmonary disease. We shoot a lot of SH all over, and we breathe the gases. But when you're in an enclosed space like this, when you're up on a hot roof, or you're inside of a parking garage and you can't get away from the cloud, you are, even though at the end of the day your lungs feel heavy and you're like, oh boy, it hurts to breathe. Well, and you feel like, it's nothing, man, no big deal, just part of the job. The reality is that you're setting yourself up for a pulmonary disease down the road. So make sure that you have a specific chemical respirator that is geared to your particular gas, okay? Very, very important to have yourself a chem respirator with relatively fresh cartridges. These cartridges last about 40 hours. So make sure you keep track of those hours, wipe the mask off at the end, make sure it properly fits. In order to properly fit this mask, it's real simple. Put the mask over your head. Let me get this untwisted. And put the mask over your head, and I'll show you once I get it back on the door handle here. Sorry about that. Once you get the mask over your head, you're gonna place both of your hands over each side of these vents. Put both hands on each side of those vents, and then breathe in. If you have a nice suction around your face, you're good to go. If you've got air coming in, you are still gonna be taking in chlorine gases into your lungs. So, and I've been doing this a long time, and I don't always wear a mask, but I always wear a mask inside a pool enclosure when I'm shooting SH. I will not put the mask on while I'm pre-treating these screens. But as soon as I'm ready to shoot my solution, my chemicals, I absolutely throw the mask on. Now, there's a bit of a dwell time, there's a little bit of a downtime. I do not rinse with my mask on, especially in a pool enclosure this large. Even though this is a single-story pool enclosure, as you can see, there are trees growing in here. So this is not a small, 900 square foot pool enclosure. This is a large pool enclosure, and there is a lot of air circulating through here. So I will be taking that mask off to do my rinsing and my cleaning. The reason you're gonna have to clean is because even though you lay your SH up there and a lot of that stuff's gonna vanish, you're gonna get, just like on a roof, you're gonna get your browns where it's killed the algae and the mold and the mildew, and you're gonna have to be able to gently apply a very light pressure. Now you got to be careful because most of these beams are going to be completely oxidized. You're going to have a white chalky dust, and you don't want to leave this pool enclosure full of marks. So thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope this helps you better be able to attack a pool enclosure with some confidence, and take your time. And the XJet is wonderful because it doesn't put holes in the screens or leave any kind of, problem situations for you. And it will not only pull out these little guys, but it'll also clean up all of your areas that really need to be cleaned up. and you can really get that in there and make that work for you. Have a great day, everyone. Keep cleaning. Trevor Thompson, TNT Pressure Cleaning. This is getting set up to do a pool enclosure, the equipment that I use, and the strategy that I use in laying out my hoses and my equipment. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.